Welcome to this transformative lesson, Causes and Costs, where we will uncover the unseen forces that create systemic imbalances, and we will explore the profound impact they have on individuals, families, and organizations. As coaches and healers, it's crucial to understand the hidden causes of these imbalances so that we can facilitate deeper healing and lasting transformation for those we serve. Let's begin by exploring the root causes that lie beneath the surface of systemic dysfunction. Every family system carries its own unique set of hidden dynamics. Unresolved generational trauma, unconscious loyalties and entanglements within the family soul. These unseen forces create repeating patterns, often passed down through generations, that shape how individuals experience life. So, you may have heard about generational trauma. And why is generational trauma such a big topic at the moment? Unresolved emotional pain from past generations can unconsciously affect current family members, creating patterns and behavior that are hard to break. Then there's the unconscious loyalties. Why are we so loyal to this dysfunctional systemic pattern? These unconscious loyalties are emotional bonds formed out of loyalty to family members, often leading to sacrificing one's own needs for the sake of the family system. And these come from systemic entanglements that occur when family members take on roles or burdens that don't belong to them, often resulting in unhealthy dynamics and conflicts. Understanding these forces is crucial in identifying how they influence relationships, health, career success, and personal fulfillment. When these patterns are ignored, and they mostly are, the consequences can be far-reaching, affecting every aspect of life. Let's now explore the costs of operating within these unconscious systems. Let's take a closer look at generational trauma and the unconscious legacy of pain. What is generational trauma? Generational trauma refers to emotional wounds, unresolved conflicts, or traumatic experiences that are passed down through the generations within a family. These deep-seated emotional scars are often carried unconsciously by the descendants of those who experienced the trauma. The unresolved trauma can shape the way individuals perceive themselves, relate to others, and make decisions in life. So the question is, why does this happen? Generational trauma often arises from significant events such as war, loss, abuse, or displacement. These experiences create emotional and psychological scars that, when not addressed, are unconsciously carried by the next generation. One of the unconscious scars that is going to be carried by the next generation is our recent pandemic of the COVID we have all been experiencing. The trauma is often not discussed within the family, creating an emotional silence that leaves the wounds unhealed. So yes, we speak about it, but we don't speak on how we have coped with certain factors and how it has affected us. Some people do and some people don't. How does it impact individuals? A person affected by generational trauma may unknowingly carry the fears, beliefs, or behaviors passed down by previous generations. For example, if a grandparent faces intense financial hardship, their children may unconsciously adopt a deep-rooted fear of financial instability. Despite not having directly experienced such hardships themselves, this fear could manifest in extreme caution, reluctance to take financial risk, or unhealthy attitudes towards money. What if we don't address it? When generational trauma is left unaddressed, it can perpetuate a cycle of dysfunction in future generations. The unresolved emotional pain might manifest in repeated unhealthy behaviors, strained relationships, or chronic health issues. The emotional wounds passed down can shape how people view the world and interact with others, reinforcing negative patterns that are hard to break. Consider a family where a history of addiction runs through multiple generations. The grandfather may have struggled with alcoholism, leading to strained relationships and financial difficulties. The son, raised in that environment, might unconsciously adopt unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as binge drinking or emotional avoidance. The grandson, now facing a similar struggle, is unaware that the cycle of addiction was passed down. Until the family addresses the root cause, the cycle continues, impacting health, relationships, and overall well-being. Now let's look at unconscious loyalties and the emotional bond that binds us. What are these unconscious loyalties? Unconscious loyalties are emotional bonds that individuals form with their family members, often without realizing it. These loyalties can be so strong that a person may unknowingly sacrifice their own needs, dreams, or well-being in order to remain loyal to a family system. These loyalties are often tied to love and a deep sense of belonging. Yet, they can prevent personal growth and create unbalanced relationships. So again, why does this happen? Loyalties are formed when an individual unconsciously aligns with the needs or suffering of their family members. For example, a child may feel loyalty to a parent who has suffered a major loss or emotional pain, and this child might take on the parent's burden in an attempt to ease their suffering. This can result in the child ignoring their own needs, desires, or ambitions to prioritize the well-being of the parent. And how does that then impact individuals? Unconscious loyalties can result in a person feeling trapped in their family dynamics. The individual might be driven to fulfill roles or responsibilities that don't belong to them, such as becoming a caregiver for a parent in need, neglecting their own personal growth or career ambitions in the process. This often leads to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and frustration. And what happens if we don't address it? Who thinks of addressing it? Because this is all unconscious. If unconscious loyalties are not recognized and addressed, individuals may continue to make choices that hinder their own development and happiness. These hidden emotional bonds can prevent them from living a fully authentic life and create deep-rooted conflict between personal needs and family obligations. A woman may unconsciously feel loyal to her mother, who sacrificed her own career for the family. The daughter, even though she has dreams of starting her own business, feels compelled to support her mother and follow in her footsteps, stifling her own ambition. Over time, this loyalty can prevent the daughter from living her true potential, impacting her self-esteem and happiness and success. Whew, this is a lot. Now let's look at systemic entanglements, taking on burdens that aren't ours. So what are systemic entanglements, you may ask? Systemic entanglements occur when individuals take on roles or responsibilities that rightfully belong to other family members. These entanglements are often unconscious and can involve carrying emotional burdens, taking on someone else's pain, or stepping into roles that prevent others from growing or healing. They create unhealthy dynamics and can prevent individuals from leading fulfilling lives. Why? Why? Entanglements often raise when there is an emotional need to fix or rescue family members. This can be rooted in guilt, love, or a desire to be needed. Family members may unintentionally become entangled in each other's lives due to a lack of healthy boundaries or an unspoken agreement to bear the weight of each other's struggles. So then the question is, so how does this impact us as individuals? These systemic entanglements can create deep emotional burdens, with individuals unknowingly stepping into the roles of caretakers, peacemakers, or saviors. It's not that there's anything wrong with those roles. I want to just stress, yes, these are positive roles. But when these roles prevent individuals from fully experiencing their own life journey, this often can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, or burnout. And when we don't address it, when the systemic entanglements are ignored, the individual may continue to carry burdens that don't belong to them, which can cause emotional exhaustion, breakdowns in relationships, and a lack of personal fulfillment. This also prevents others in the family system from taking responsibility for their own healing and growth. And that is key. When one member in the family keeps carrying the burdens, others don't have to. Imagine a man who takes on the emotional burdens of his father, who never achieved his own career goals. The son feels an unconscious pressure to fulfill those goals for the father. As a result, he becomes successful in his career, but feels empty and disconnected from his true passions. The entanglement with his father's unfulfilled desires has led him to disregard his own. So let's just have a quick review of understanding the hidden causes. The hidden dynamics of generational trauma, unconscious loyalties, and systemic entanglements shape the way we experience the world and relate to others. By uncovering these hidden causes, we gain the insight necessary to break free from repeating patterns that limit our potential and well-being. When we acknowledge these influences, we open the door to healing, both for ourselves and for those we work with as coaches and healers. And only by understanding and integrating these hidden causes can we help others heal, grow, and transform their lives. By addressing these root causes, we create space for individuals and families to move forward, break free from unhealthy patterns, and embrace a more powerful future. I hope this starts making sense to you.